So you want to be a Sicario?
It's been nearly 10 years since Sicario dropped like a bomb and reminded everyone that crime thrillers don't have to be lazy, bloated, or boring. That first movie hit like a gut punch, quiet, brutal, and smart as hell. And ever since then, fans like me have been wondering, where the hell is Sicario 3? Now, before we go any further, yes, I know Day of the Soldado happened, and yes, I also know it wasn't exactly Oscar-worthy. But let's be honest, Sicario 2 wasn't terrible, it just didn't have the same spark. Missing Villeneuve behind the camera and Emily Blunt on screen was like showing up to a rock concert and realizing the lead singer stayed home. Still, Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin did their best to keep the show running, even if it sometimes felt like they were flying a plane mid-crash. And yet here we are, 7 years later, still refreshing news tabs and praying to the movie gods for Sicario 3. Is it happening? Who's in it? When's it coming? The short answer, maybe, kind of, and your guess is as good as mine. The original Sicario was a lightning-in-a-bottle combo of raw talent. You had Denis Villeneuve directing like a mad genius, Roger Deakins doing cinematography so good it should have been illegal, and Taylor Sheridan writing like he just found out dialogue can stab people in the chest. And let's not forget the cast. Emily Blunt crushed it as FBI agent Kate Macer, tough, sharp, and constantly questioning the shady justice happening around her. Josh Brolin was peak government goon mode with his flip-flops and casual war crimes. And Benicio del Toro, the man didn't act, he haunted the screen. Alejandro Gillick became an instant legend, whispering threats and shooting cartel bosses in cold silence. Even Daniel Kaluuya was in there before Get Out, before Black Panther, just casually playing second fiddle in a movie that would kickstart multiple A-list careers. When Day of the Soldado dropped in 2018, I was hopeful. Del Toro and Brolin were back, Taylor Sheridan was still writing, the action, solid, the tone, grim as hell. But it didn't have Villeneuve, or Deakins, or the emotional weight that made the first movie feel like more than just bullets and bodies. And most noticeably, no Emily Blunt. Kate Macer was out, and with her went that moral compass that kept the madness in check. She is damn important to the franchise, and there's an interesting story about her. Before Sicario was made, a producer actually asked Sheridan to swap Kate out for a male lead. Yeah, they wanted a guy to be the center of the story because, testosterone or whatever. Sheridan didn't just say no, he burned the bridge. In his own words, he used a couple of strong adjectives and never spoke to the guy again. And thank God he did, because changing Kate to a man would have gutted the entire film. Let's be real, Sicario worked because Kate isn't your typical action hero. She's not the guy who kicks down doors and spouts one-liners. She's experienced, capable, but also in way over her head. She's stepping into a world that operates by a totally different set of rules. That fish-out-of-water feeling? That's the soul of the movie. If you replace her with some grizzled tough guy who's seen it all before, you don't have Sicario. You've got another generic action flick that gets dumped on streaming with a 6-word title and zero impact. Sheridan knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted someone who earned her authority, someone who carries the emotional weight of everything she's seen. He didn't want a cape or a swagger. He wanted scars, quiet psychological ones. He wanted the audience to see a woman who had sacrificed more than comfort for her job, someone whose face told the story before she even opened her mouth. Emily Blunt nailed that. She didn't have to shout or punch her way through scenes. She was just present, vulnerable, but unbreakable. You could feel her tension, her confusion, her helplessness, and her drive all at once. And honestly, that's what stuck with people. Not explosions, not gunfights, her. Now, Sheridan's no stranger to writing strong women. Look at Beth from Yellowstone. She'll cut you down with a stare and bury you with a quote. Or Elsa from 1883, who's all heart and grit. Or Jo from Lioness, who could stare down a missile and not blink. These women aren't strong because they're trying to outman the men. They're strong because they've seen things. They're wise. They've got layers and pain and resolve. And Sheridan gets that. That's why Sicario still slaps a decade later. That's why it's sitting at 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not just bullets and border raids, it's the tension of being in the middle of a war you barely understand, led by people you don't trust, with rules that change every 5 minutes. On the other hand, the ending of Day of the Soldado teased something bigger. Alejandro surviving a gunshot to the head? Come on, man. You don't set that up unless you're planning something. And they were planning something. Sicario 3 got announced way back in 2018. Then, it disappeared like a cartel witness. So what the hell happened? Here's the deal. Sicario 3 is stuck in the worst place a movie can be, development limbo. The people behind the scenes keep saying it's going to happen. Producer Molly Smith still wants it. Taylor Sheridan had plans for a trilogy. Director Stefano Sollima from Soldado confirmed it was in the works. Brolin and Del Toro both down if the script's good. Even Thunder Road's Basil Iwanek and Erica Lee said the dream is to get the whole gang back together. But it's not that simple. Schedules are a mess. Sheridan is now running the Taylorverse like a cowboy god, spitting out shows like Yellowstone, Landman, and 1883 faster than anyone can watch them. Villeneuve is neck-deep in Dune sequels and prepping Rendezvous with Rama, a Cleopatra movie, and maybe even a nuclear war thriller. This man doesn't even have time to direct his own dreams. Christopher McQuarrie was briefly attached. That could have been interesting. Slick action, tight writing, cruise control chaos, but he bailed too. Probably off blowing up a train with Tom Cruise or something. Even Emily Blunt seemed skeptical. She said recently she hasn't heard a thing about Sicario 3. No script, no call, nada. So yeah, right now the third movie exists mostly in producer interviews, fan Reddit threads, and my fever dreams. Here's the thing, Sicario 3 should matter. This franchise isn't just about cool shootouts and shady operatives, it's about power, corruption, and how the line between good guys and bad guys is usually drawn in pencil. The first movie told a tight, terrifying story. The second pushed deeper into moral chaos. A third one? It could bring it full circle, tie it all together, maybe bring back Kate for closure, maybe show Alejandro breaking completely or finally redeeming himself. Maybe Matt Graver realizes the system's broken and decides to burn it all down. Or maybe they all die in a hail of bullets and betrayal. I'd be cool with that too. The Sicario world has always flirted with bleak endings and moral ambiguity. It's the kind of universe where even the winds feel dirty. And with today's headlines still full of real-life cartel horror shows and border crises, it's not like the material's gone stale. If anything, it's more relevant than ever. So here we are, still refreshing our feeds and hanging on every vague quote from a producer. I know I'm not the only one. Every few months, someone brings up Sicario 3, and the fandom wakes up like a dog hearing a cheese wrapper. Brolin says it's closer. Producers say it's coming. Sheridan's probably got it buried under a stack of cowboy scripts. And Villeneuve? Let's face it, until someone invents a time machine, he's not coming back. But even without him, even without McQuarrie or Blunt confirmed, there's still a shot. And if Sicario 3 does happen, if they get the story right, it could end the trilogy on a hell of a high note. And there you have it, Sicario 3, the ghost movie we all want to believe in. Is it coming? Is it dead? Who the hell knows? But if it ever drops, you better believe we'll be locked in like Alejandro with a silencer. If you're still holding out hope like I am, hit that like button so the algorithm knows we're not letting this one die. Drop a comment below. What do you want to see in Sicario 3? Kate's return? Alejandro's redemption arc? Graver finally flipping the table? And hey, if you're new here, subscribe, because when that first teaser trailer finally hits, we're gonna break it down like it's the Zapata border crossing all over again. Until then, stay sharp, stay skeptical, and never trust a man in flip-flops with a drone strike. Thank you so much for watching today, and we'll see you in our next video.